Hello everyone, it's Chelsea Face Reads. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. It is the end of April 30th today. Today's video is going to be my wrap up for the month of April, my reading log, all of the manga, and a lot of books that I read this month. I had a reading frenzy. It was a very good month for me. I will tell you all about it, so keep watching. First, I'm going to start with the manga, as per usual, and then I'll go into the books that I read. So if you're only here for the manga, you can watch the beginning. If you're only here for the books, you can skip to the end. I'll be sure to put a timestamp in the description for both, just in case you're interested in one or the other specifically. And if you're here for both, welcome. I'm glad that you enjoy my content. And yeah, so the first manga I have is one that I very recently read. It is volume 1 of Monster Musume by Okayato. And listen, okay, we all know I can be quite a degenerate at times, and that's okay. I think everyone has the right, as long as they're 18 plus, to be a degenerate. Also, this is rated 16 plus, so technically 16-year-olds can purchase this, which is very strange to me. While this is, I think, supposed to be for adults, it does not have like full-on scenarios, if that makes sense, but it is very, very adult. I don't think I love this. I love Monster Girls, don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite things that I've noticed about myself when I like to read manga is stories with Monster Girls in it. I think they're really cute and fun, but I don't know if I'll continue. I guess it really depends on if my husband wants to continue, because he has yet to read this, and me and him both were very curious about this series, so that's why we picked it up. The art's great. The writing, I'll be honest, like it's very nudie. It's very there's a couple of there's a character in here that is very childlike, if you know what I'm saying. So it's questionable, so enter at your own risk, but I like some of it. I like parts of this, but I don't know if I would continue it unless my husband's interested in reading it, and even then we'll probably talk about it before we continue. But we did want to try, and I'm glad that we did. So yeah, I think I gave that one 3 stars. Next up, I read volume 8 of Kaiju number 8. Funny. This is a series about a guy who pretty much just joins the military to kill kaiju, and it takes him a long time to get in, and he finally beats it. He's in his 30s, so it's like a big deal or whatever, because, you know, in your 30s you're old and washed up, so it's a big deal. He's, you know, working really hard compared to the younger kids who are in the army. He has to work a lot harder, it seems. He gets integrated with a kaiju, so he is part kaiju, and it's the struggle of him battling with that within himself, you know, like the whole Bleach thing. A lot of anime take that same trope and use it, but this one takes it with kaiju. And in this one, we're really getting into these characters that we've known, integrating with different suits that are parts of kaiju that have been turned into weaponry. So apparently that has a big toll on their bodies. It can hurt them, shorten their lifespans, and we're learning about that. So I'm really interested to know exactly what that's going to do to the character that's in this one that does that, because, you know, they're a really important character to the series. It's a really good time. I'm just slowly making my way catching up with this one. I know there's a lot more volumes out, and I do have them. Just slowly catching up on that one. Next up, I read volume 1 of My Boyfriend is a Dog. Yeah, My Boyfriend is a Dog by Kadiro. I just did a first impressions of this, if you want to watch that. This was pretty cute, honestly. It is very furry centric. The artwork was very furry, so if that's something that you're really against or just not into, I don't recommend this at all. But it was cute. The relationships were adorable if you can get past the animal part. Our main characters that we're following is this dog man. He's very like hard on the outside but soft. And then there's this dude who's like a golden retriever kind of character. Like, he's super sweet. There's a couple of panels where he looks just like Aoyama from My Hero Academia, which was really strange, but almost the same personality. It's cute. I liked it. I do recommend it if you like BL. It's cute. There's a couple of different couples that we're following so far, and yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it. Next up, I finally have completed an entire series that has taken me forever to finish. This one is the final volume, To You, Dear One, Volume 7 of Orange. This series is normally 5, and then they had a 6th, which was like a future volume that lets you see into the future. And then this one was more of like the present day story of like the kids, or the past story with the kids when they are essentially talking to themselves through the letters about what they wish they had done differently with Kakeru, and them reflecting individually about their relationship with this friend. And it was really good. I like this one a lot more than Future. I think Future was very confusing to me. I just could not follow the timeline we were on and like who was talking almost at all times. It was very confusing to me. This one was a lot easier to read. I have officially completed the series, which is really exciting, and I have this box set down here, as you can see it poking at the bottom of the screen, that I'm going to put these back in and have them displayed. And it's just really nice to have completed another series. I do love this series. I love the anime. I'm not a big fan of other Ichigo Takano works that I've read, but this one, it's a real winner for me. Next up, I did another first impressions of an older series, and this is Naruto. This is by Masashi Kishimoto. If you are unaware of Naruto, it's a story about a young boy who is an orphan, and he is cursed with a fox spirit. And he is in a ninja clan, and he has to prove himself, and that's essentially the entire series. Of course, it goes on forever and ever, and I did really enjoy this, so I will be collecting the whole series. I don't know if I'm going to do the singles or the box set quite yet, but I did want to try it because I used to like the anime, and then I grew out of it. Like, it just wasn't very good when Jiraiya came in. I don't know what it is about that character. I normally really like pervy, funny characters, but I think I was just annoyed. I hope that he's better in the manga because I do want to continue and finish the series, at least until Boruto. I don't really know if I'll have an interest in Boruto, but I do like Naruto, so I do want to continue. Really like this one. Yeah, I do have a first impressions video if you want to go watch that as well. Next up, I read volume 11 of A Condition Called Love by Megami Morino. Another super fantastic volume by this creator. This one particularly, it really got me because we're letting our main guy here, Hananoi, is starting to open up to his little friends. He doesn't always consider them friends, but they are, and he does eventually open up to that. Spoiler. It was so sweet, y'all. This was a good volume. We're getting some healing from our main girl, some opening up from our main guy, and it's just really cute, y'all. It's a really good series about two people who are learning a lot about themselves and also what they need and bring to a relationship. So I really recommend this one if you want a good shoujo. And next up, I read volumes 28, 29, and 30 of Bleach. I like these omnibuses. And this is the next one I needed. So I am very slowly but surely catching up on it. And as you can tell from the back, this has the Espadas. We're in Hueco Mundo. I think, yeah, it's with the Espadas, but that's not who I'm talking about. Anyways, I'll stop jabbering. This is, you know, they're in Hueco Mundo right now. We've got Cayenne here on the front. It's good. It's great. I think it's better than the anime, even though I really do like the anime. I need to continue buying them and not put it off, but I'm really bad about doing that. These are getting reprinted, luckily. I do prefer these omnibuses just because, I don't know, I think they're really good quality and cheaper to collect that way for the series. So I do both because they're the same height and it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I next need to pick up volume 30. So that's cool. Next up, I read volume 10 of A Sign of Affection by Sue Morishita. Another great volume. This one had a lot of the relationship between the hairdresser guy and his, the girl he's in love with. Like absolutely head over heels in love with. And that is such a sweet little romance to me. It feels very authentic, and sometimes love is complicated in how it begins. I myself have had situations like that where just because you don't have a traditionally beginning relationship doesn't mean that your love isn't real or worth pursuing. So I really appreciate that. We've also got our two main characters, of course. They're precious as always. I can't even remember exactly what happened in this, but a lot of this was about the other couple. So yeah, very good. We'll be continuing, of course. And the last manga I read is one that I've been wanting to try for a really long time. And I've even had it on my shelves for ages. And it's finally gotten read. That is The Blue Wolves of Mibu. This is by Tsuyoshi Yasuda, and I have a fascination with swordsman stories. I think that there is I have a lot of history with historical swordsman stories in anime and manga. One of my first series was Kenshin and Inuyasha, and I really just like historical pieces. This is another one that is a historical piece. I don't know yet if this is going to be fantastical or very true to life aspects within it, but we are following this guy who he's an orphan, and he has a lot of trauma, and he still has like a really cheery disposition at the beginning at least, and he joins this group of like misfit swordsmen that I guess were not, I don't know if they were kicked out or if they just left the group they were in. And I know it has to do with the Shinsengumi and a group that is like bandits that are samurai bandits. They're not like legit samurai. I guess they're disgraced or something. I'm learning a lot, so just bear with me as I mumble my way through explaining this. But it's about swordsmen, historical. There is some history to this. It's just not going to be 100% accurate, I don't think. So yeah, I did enjoy it a lot, and I did make a first impressions. I just haven't uploaded it yet, so keep your eyes peeled for that one if you're interested in my thoughts. Okay, now I'm going to talk about all of the books that I read. I did read 4 amazing books this month, and I cannot wait to tell you about them. So if you were only here for the manga, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more from me. And let's just get into the books now. First up, I wanted to tell you guys about a service at your local library. At least mine has this, and I didn't really think about it until someone posted about it on our Facebook locally. Some of you may think I'm crazy because this is, oh, it's so obvious you could do that. I didn't know this. You can go to your library, of course, and check out books. Most of them are free to do that with a card, as long as you've got like an ID to get you a card. And I've done that for years, but our library is very limited. I have a decent sized library, but it has very specific books in it. I mostly stuck to the graphic novel and manga comic book section because that's where I found most things I was interested in. But there's also a lot of historical, and I don't have any interest in that. So I was kind of bummed that my library just didn't carry what I like. So I found out that you can go on their online website and request books to be on hold, or you probably could go physically and call and all that good stuff. But I just went to their website, ordered the book from another library that is close enough and within our networking, and they transfer it over to you, and you don't have to pay for it. You just have to wait. They send you an email for when it comes in. And so I've been doing that a lot lately, if you haven't noticed. I'm going to be talking about a lot of library books because I want to try so many books that I didn't want to pay for until I had read them, and if I love them, I'll pick up a copy someday. The first one I borrowed is We Used to Live Here. This is by Marcus Cleaver. This has been getting a lot of hype on Facebook. I joined like a paranormal horror book club on there, and I mostly just use it for seeing other people's recommendations of new books that come out, or indie authors if there's anything I'm interested in. But this is really hyped. I think that it was good. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's a story about this gay couple. They flip houses for a living, and the main character girl that we're following is home alone one day, and her partner had to go to town for some reason, and she gets a knock at the door, and they just moved into this house. Like, it still needs a lot of work. They don't know if they're going to keep it or tear it down. She hasn't moved in yet, but all their boxes are laying around, so they're going to move in till they know what they're going to do with it. And it's kind of like a last chance for them. They need this to work out, so it's a desperate situation. And she gets a knock at the door when she's home alone, and it's this family. There's 2 boys, a girl, and a husband and wife. And they're like, hey, my husband, the man's like, I used to live here when I was a kid. Is it okay if I show my family my old home? I promise it won't take long, maybe 30 minutes max. I'll be out of your hair, no big deal. And she's like, no, I can't do that. She's real wishy-washy. She's people pleaser. She's not comfortable. And then she feels bad because the daughter like gets upset, and so she's like, okay. So they come in, and they don't leave. I'm not gonna give away how that happens or exactly what happens, but there is some evil things at play, and it was really good. I enjoyed this a lot. Some people think it's overhyped, but I genuinely love this. I love books like this. I like a good, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not gonna I'm not able to tell you what I was gonna say, but I do recommend it if you like a good scary book. There were a couple of moments in this I was genuinely like really spooked. Really good time. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. I'll have to take that back because my hold is almost over. Next up, I did purchase this book from my local indie. I pre-ordered it because I'm obsessed with this author. If you have not noticed, I own and have read every book that she's written. Vanishing World by Sayaka Murata. Absolutely obsessed with Sayaka Murata. Might be my favorite author ever. Yeah, absolutely she is. It's translated from Japanese. And she also wrote Convenience Store Woman, Earthlings, Life Ceremony, if you're not sure which books that I loved. But this is the new book. Just came out this month and it's called Vanishing World. And this book, like all of her others, is very odd. If you like to feel like staring at a blank wall for an hour after you read a book because you're like, what the actual F did I just read? I need to think about this and have a moment to myself. Then I highly recommend Sayaka Murata. This is about a version of society, at least in Japan, where instead of actually having intercourse, these people will get artificially inseminated. They believe in marriage at the moment, at the beginning of the book. We're following this young girl who is raised with her mother, just her and her mother in this tiny little house. And her mother teaches her about how when she was born, that they had had traditional intercourse and she was born and it's no big deal. And she grew up thinking that was normal. That's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to fall in love, get married, have babies with your husband. That's how it was. Well, when she gets into like middle school, early elementary, she learns that disgusting. It's actually incest if you do that with your husband because you're family now. That's disgusting, and that's what old people used to do when they were barbarians. Nowadays, you don't do that with your husband, and you get inseminated with his stuff still. So I don't know where they draw the line there, but you get inseminated. You have to go to this special doctor to get inseminated. It's all very sterile. A lot of this book is about being clean and sterile and not being dirty. They also question what is a family and why do you even need the family dynamic if you're no longer going to do what you need to do. There's also a town that has been turned into a experiment city, and they do experiments on like birth. They make everyone in town get inseminated regardless, male or female. They have a way for men to give birth. It's very new, so not all of them have worked. You get inseminated with someone's stuff, you give birth, and then they all are treated the same. They're raised by the village and everyone is called mother. It's really weird. Like, it's a really interesting look at what is a relationship. Why do we need love? Why do we need family? Why do we need spouses? There's a lot of things that you talk about, question. There's a lot of inner monologue for our main character. She's questioning, like, does she even want to have a baby? She questions if she wants to have intercourse. Like, there's a lot of things within this. And I think that you could really tie this into a lot of things that are happening in our society. Not one for one exactly, but in other things that are going on. So this was so interesting, and I could probably talk for years about Sayaka Murata's books personally. It wasn't my favorite that she's written, but I do still think it's amazing. So I highly recommend it if it sounds like something you're interested in. Also, please read her other books. Oh my God, they're wonderful. Next up, I read a book that I also picked up at the same time as the Vanishing World one. This was one that I heard someone on YouTube talk about. I'll put their channel here. I can't remember the name of it. They mentioned it very briefly in a like new releases video. They were like talking about things they were interested in picking up, and it sounded good to me, so I picked it up. And that is Cold Eternity by S.A. Barnes. It was pitched as a horror novel, sci-fi, future kind of thing, which is true, but I think it's also very political horror. I don't know. It's really hard for me to tell because I've never read anything like this. I was hoping for more Alien, and this was giving more of like, Alien was at the very end, if you know what I mean. But the majority of this book was very political, and not like real life politics, like United States politics. It was, you know, fake fictional politics, and I just don't care about that at all. I have no interest in fake politics. If I want to read about politics, I will buy a political book. I wish that had been really short and sweet and just not, it was like more than half of the book was like the politics. The very end is where the juicy stuff happened, and I liked that juicy stuff. I liked the tiny bit of romance in this. I liked the weird sci-fi elements. I liked the creepy dude that we're talking to. I thought this was really spooky. It was gory. It was great. I enjoyed those parts of it, but I could not give it 5 stars because of all the politics. I can't remember if I gave it 3 or 4, maybe 4, but it was a good time. I'm just not a political kind of gal, but if you think you can get through that part, you might really even enjoy that part. It made sense to the story. I just feel like there was a little too much of it, but it was fun. It's a good time. Okay, so the last thing that I read this month is a horror novella, another one I picked up from the library. This is Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. On the cover it says dark and twisted, funny, a little crazy, and unsettling as hell, from Christopher Golden. There was nobody I found on YouTube really described this book in detail because it's a novella and they didn't want to spoil it, which is totally understandable. This was not at all what I expected it to be. Holy cannoli, this was so fun. I think I gave it 4 or 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. I don't want to spoil it for you. I talked about it a little bit in a reading vlog, so I'm going to give you just a really short thing of it here so that if you're interested, you'll go read it. Not be spoiled here. But we are essentially at the beginning following this group of friends who find this mannequin in the woods randomly during the summer, and they become friends with it and use it with a lot of fun pranks and everything, and good-hearted, you know, safe stuff. And some things happen, and it goes in places that I did not expect it to. I guess I had expected one thing from this and it turned into a totally different thing, but I think I prefer the totally different thing. Stephen Graham Jones, this is essentially what I love about his writing. I love a story about people and their minds. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil it for you, but this was so good. Please read it. It's less than 200 pages. It's like 130, exactly 130 or 31 pages. So just give it a try. It was so good. I do want to get a copy of this one for my shelves because I think I might want to reread it again someday. It is gory, so just be aware of that before you pick it up if that's something that you're sensitive to. Very, very fun read. Very enjoyable. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed this one today. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you are interested in more of my content. I do upload very frequently. I did take yesterday off. Anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!